Please rise for the arrival of the official party. On this very special occasion, here in Fort Worth, Texas, we celebrate the public debut of the first Japan Air Self-Defense Force F-35A. Japanese taiko drums have been captivating audiences for many years in ceremonies, festivals, special events, and even on battlefields as soldiers prayed for victory. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Matsuritsa. You may now be seated. Thank you, Matsuritsa, for that very dynamic sound of taiko, which is incomparable with any other percussion in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Japan and remain standing for the national anthem of the United States of America. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lockheed Martin's Executive Vice President of Aeronautics, Mr. Orlando Carvalho.
Good morning, and welcome to Air Force Plant 4 in Fort Worth, Texas, the home of the F-35 Lightning II program. Today marks another historic occasion as we celebrate the official rollout of the first F-35A for the Japan Air Self-Defense Force. It is an honor to stand before you, friends, partners, and distinguished guests, to celebrate the cooperation and the security alliance that our two nations have developed and strengthened for more than 50 years. The United States and Japan are unified in their shared vision of peace and prosperity. And Lockheed Martin will continue to support both great nations and their ongoing commitment to deter common threats and uphold common values. As we celebrate this momentous day and the official rollout of the first F-35A for Japan, we call AX-1, we can reflect on the years of relentless hard work and tireless dedication by many who made this vision become a reality. Crafted by the skilled hands of thousands, the F-35 is more than just a jet. It is a symbol of stability and safety. It will serve in the first line of defense, the first line of freedom and security around the world. As we celebrate our past, our present, and our future, Lockheed Martin proudly stands beside Japan as a partner and an ally, now and for decades to come. It is now my pleasure to introduce our official party for today's ceremony. State Vice Minister of Defense, the Honorable Kengi Wakamiya. Lockheed Martin Chairman, President, and Chief Executive Officer, Marilyn Hewson. Japan Air Self-Defense Force Chief of the Air Staff, General Yoshiyuki Sugiyama. The Undersecretary of Defense for Acquisition, Technology, and Logistics, the Honorable Frank Kendall. I would also like to recognize several of our distinguished guests who are seated in the audience. Commissioner of Acquisition, Technology, and the Logistics Agency, Dr. Hideaki Watanabe. Commanding General, Air Material Command, Lieutenant General Sadamasa Oe. Vice Commander, Air Defense Command, Japan Air Self-Defense Force, Lieutenant General Hiroki Maari. Director General, Defense Planning and Policy Department, Air Staff Office, Major General Hiroki Uchikura. From the United States government, please welcome Commander, Pacific Air Forces, General Terrence O'Shaughnessy. Director for Operations Joint Staff, Lieutenant General John Dolan. Deputy Undersecretary of the Air Force for International Affairs, the Honorable Heidi Grant. Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for East Asia, the Honorable Abe Denmark. Executive Director of the F-35 Joint Program Office, Mr. Todd Mellon. And for all those who are here in attendance representing members of Congress. We would also like to recognize former United States Ambassador to Japan, the Honorable Tom Schiefer. And all of the individuals from the Japanese and the United States defense industries who are here with us today. And from Lockheed Martin, our Executive Vice President and the F-35 General Manager, Mr. Jeff Babione. Of course, this celebration would not be possible without the dedication and service of all of our Lockheed Martin employees, including representatives from the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, District 776, Office and Professional Employees International Union, Local Number 277, Federated Independent Texas Union's Aircraft, Local Number 900, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Number 220, International Union Security, Police, and Fire Professionals of America, Local Number 723. Thank you. And at this time, please join me in welcoming to the podium Lockheed Martin Chairman, President, and Chief Executive Officer, Marillyn Hewson.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here with all of you today. On behalf of the entire Lockheed Martin team, we are deeply honored to bring the exceptional capability of the F-35A to our partners and friends in Japan. The rollout of this unrivaled aircraft marks an important milestone for the special relationship between the United States and Japan. To invoke the words of Prime Minister Abe, ours is an indispensable and irreplaceable alliance. And fortunately, for the stability and prosperity of the Asia-Pacific region and the entire world, it is also a growing alliance. As 3 more aircraft roll off this line here in Texas and another 38 to follow at the F-35 production facility in Nagoya, Japan, I believe this aircraft can and will serve as an inspiring example of all that's possible with the collaboration between our 2 great nations. Among us today are some very special guests, as Orlando has pointed out. We simply could not have done this without them, and we are celebrating this historical milestone because of them. So before I go any further, I'd like to add my sincere appreciation to these senior representatives from the Japanese and U.S. governments. Minister Wakamiya, Commissioner Watanabe, General Sugiyama, Secretary Kendall, and General O'Shaughnessy. Thank you to all of you for your partnership and for your support in making today possible. I'd also like to thank the thousands of men and women of Lockheed Martin who work on the F-35 program every day. You continue to make a difference in strengthening global security and cooperation between our nations through your commitment to the aircraft's success. I also want to recognize our colleagues at the Nagoya Final Assembly Checkout Facility, both the Lockheed Martin and the Mitsubishi Heavy Industries employees. We couldn't be more excited about the progress there, with the first aircraft already moving through final assembly. Delivering this aircraft is critically important for this program, especially today, as the world needs the F-35 now more than ever. Our current global security environment is incredibly dynamic, with existing threats evolving and new ones appearing every day. There is destabilizing conduct by major sovereign state actors, challenges to territorial sovereignty from a major power, and the direct threat of missiles from rogue nations. No country, no region is immune. We live in a difficult and dangerous time. That's why it has never been more important for the United States and Japan to come even closer together and shape the future course of our history. Our nations share a commitment to core democratic values and human rights. We seek to promote peace and stability everywhere we can. We envision a healthier, more sustainable, and more prosperous world. And underlying all of that is security. That is why the F-35 is so important. It's the right aircraft at the right time in the United States-Japan alliance. It will help Japan deter and respond to a range of security situations that could unfold on the ground, at sea, and in the air. And it will allow Japan, with the outstanding interoperability of the aircraft, to gain even more strength through cooperation. And our cooperation doesn't end when the aircraft rolls off the assembly line. It extends as the F-35 takes flight into the skies and conducts missions. At Lockheed Martin, we are so proud of our long history of partnership with Japan, and we are very pleased that it has only grown stronger in recent years. We've been a partner with the Japanese industry and government for decades on programs such as the C-130, the P-3C, Aegis, PAC-3, and the F-2. Now, at a critical moment in Japanese history, as the rules evolve for how the Japanese defense industry can do business internationally, and with the Japanese government seeking a greater role in our alliance and regional stability, Lockheed Martin, once again, stands ready as a partner. And I mean a true partner, in a relationship built on respect and sharing, and fueled by the common mission and core set of values. It has been said that hard times reveal your closest friends. One of the hardest times that any American ally has faced in recent history was the aftermath of the Great East Japan earthquake in 2011. Our company was honored to stand with Japan and lend assistance during this great time of need. In the immediate aftermath of the tragedy, our C-130 Hercules transport aircraft were used to move Japanese self-defense forces personnel and equipment. We also provided satellite support and technical equipment on the ground to assess the situation. Our employees here back home in the US also pitched in. I remember hearing a story about 350 of our employees in Hanover, Maryland. Completely unprompted, they came together, they held a cookout to raise money for the earthquake victims. That's just one example. And our company today is still playing a role. We are truly honored to help Mitsubishi Heavy Industries refurbish the 18 F-2s that were damaged or destroyed during the tsunami. All of this is a sign of our true and enduring partnership. Let me close by saying, arigato gozaimasu. Arigato gozaimasu. Thank you. Thank you for all of your support to this program and to our indispensable, irreplaceable, and growing alliance. The security alliance between Japan and the United States has been a cornerstone of peace and prosperity in the Asia-Pacific region for generations. And we are proud to continue that legacy of cooperation with the rollout today of the first F-35A aircraft to the Japan Ministry of Defense and the Japan Air Self-Defense Force. Thank you.
Lockheed Martin Aeronautics and the United States share a rich history of partnership with Japan. The F-35 Lightning II will lead the JASDF's transition to the next generation fighter force, deterring regional aggression, building on a proud legacy, and ensuring Japan's national security for generations.
I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the United States government and the related industries, especially Lockheed Martin Aeronautics Company, for the enormous amount of effort and support to this day of the Japan F-35A production.
F-35 is a symbol of a bilateral operational environment with the U.S. forces. Also, it's a symbol of a cooperative operational environment with other partnering countries participating in the JASDF program.
I feel I'm very lucky, and it's a great honor for me to fly F-35.
Please welcome the Undersecretary of Defense for Acquisition, Technology, and Logistics, Mr. Frank Kendall.
Thank you. Good morning. Marilyn, you always have me on the program after the great movie and the great entertainment. I don't know why that is. It's hard acts to follow. It's a delight to be here. Those of you who have been here before will know that I have been here before. And I want to thank Lockheed for putting on these events. They mark important progress in the program for the F-35. Minister Wakamiya, General Sugiyama, Dr. Watanabe, great to have you here. It's great to have all the members of the Japanese delegation, military, industry, and government with us today for this event. It marks an important milestone. I have been to a number of these occasions. The first one was a few years ago. My involvement in the F-35 program dates back about 6.5 years when I came back into government. And this occasion could possibly be my last one, although Marilyn has said that I'm invited back for future rollouts. That's because, as you may have noticed, there's an election coming up in the United States, and as a political appointee, it's not absolutely certain that I will be around for the next delivery. So it's a time for me to reflect a little bit on what we have been through together and where we are today. When I came out of the program 6.5 years ago, roughly at the time that Japan became involved in the program, we were about 10 or 15% into the test program. We had a long list of design issues we were trying to resolve. My first trip to Fort Worth was to go through all of those issues and try to understand the status of the program. We were subject to an enormous amount of criticism for schedule slips and cost overruns. And the program was to some degree in doubt. We have been down a long, hard road together. Some of you have been on that road for a very long time. But now we are in the process of arriving. And part of arriving is getting the aircraft into the hands of its ultimate customers, the people who will operate it. Now, there's a book written in the 1980s called In Search of Excellence by, I think it was Peters and Waterman. And one of the points that they made in describing companies that excel was that they exceed the expectations of their customers. They deliver more than was expected. The feedback from our operators today is that Lockheed Martin and the other industry partners and the government team that's worked with industry has delivered an aircraft that vastly exceeds our expectations. And I'm going to share with you a couple of stories from our operators who now have the aircraft in their hands. The Marine Corps was doing a demonstration for the Commandant of the Marine Corps. And they had planned an exercise. They'd use the F-35 in the exercise and show some of its capabilities. A captain in the Marine Corps was flying one of those F-35s, came to the general who's in charge of the exercise overall, and said, "Sir, you're not making it hard enough. You're not showing off the features of this aircraft unless you give us a much tougher threat to deal with." So that was done, and it was successful. The other feedback recently from one of our major exercises called Red Flag, were the only system on the battlefield that could see the battlefield, understand what was happening, and provide direction to the rest of the force package was the F-35. That's what we're doing. The exchange ratios that we're achieving are phenomenal and do exceed expectations. So all of you involved with the program, give yourselves a hand. You have delivered a fantastic aircraft. When I was flying out here, I had an email about one of our science and technology investments. And I was asked how I felt about that investment. It had nothing to do with the F-35. The question I was asked was, how I would prioritize that investment among others. And the note that I sent back was that I have one qualification or one question I asked about prioritization of different efforts in the department. And that is this the best way to spend $1, or in the case of Japan, a yen, to improve the combat power of the United States and its friends and allies? If the answer to that question is yes, that's the right investment. The right investment, if you're trying to equip your military for conventional warfare today, for any of our friends and allies, the best place to spend $1 or a yen is on the aircraft you're about to see. Thank you.
Please welcome the Honorable Kenji Wakamiya, State Minister of Defense.
まず最初に一言申し上げたい。私は感動いたしました。
I was very moved. Thank you very much.
この多くのロッキードの皆様方にこうしたロールアウトのこの演出と、そしてこの式典を用意してくださったことにここから感謝申し上げたいと思います。
First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much for all the Lockheed Martin people involved for the arrangement and organization of this event.
感動して自分の名前を言うのを申し遅れました。
I'm sorry, I forgot to tell my name because I was so moved.
防衛副大臣の若宮健二でございます。
My name is Kenji Wakamiya. I'm the Senior Vice Minister of Defense Japan.
まずもってこの度の航空自衛隊向けの F-35A の初号機が本日ロールアウトの式典を迎えることができたことを心からお祝いを申し上げたいと思っております。
First of all, I'd like to say my heartfelt congratulations on the occasion of today's rollout ceremony for the first Japanese Air Force's F-35A.
アメリカを中心に9カ国によって共同開発をされました最新鋭の戦闘機であるこの F-35の開発、そしてまた製造には 昨日もいろいろミーティングでお伺いしましたが、並々ならぬ大変なご苦労があったと承知をいたしております。
Well, the development and manufacturing of this state-of-the-art F-35 have been realized through the hard work of joint work of 9 countries led by the United States. That's what I heard when I visited here yesterday.
今この実機を前にして皆様のご苦労に思いを馳せ、改めてアメリカ政府、そしてまたロッキード・マーティン社のはじめ皆様方にこの努力に、何十年にもわたる努力に心から敬意を表するとともに、引き続きのご尽力をお願い申し上げたく思います。
And this morning, in front of this first F-35A for Japan, I once again have recognized all the efforts provided by everyone involved for this project.